Michelle Bachelet has constantly been ranked among the world's most influential women ever since she became Chile's first female president in 2006. Her fight against sexism and for women's rights led to her serving in the UN as the first Under-Secretary General and Executive Director of UN Women after her presidential term finished in 2010. Bachelet was tasked with leading, supporting and coordinating work on gender equality and women's empowerment at global, regional and country levels. 3 years later, she returned to her homeland when she was again elected president. Following her second presidential term, Bachelet took on a responsibility many consider one of the most complex in international diplomacy, serving as the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. It means she bears responsibility for promoting and protecting human rights guaranteed under international law. Her 4-year mandate ends on August 31st. So, what legacy is Bachelet leaving behind? Has she failed or succeeded as the world's leading human rights advocate? The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, talks to Al Jazeera. Tens of thousands of people killed in Ethiopia, tens of thousands displaced, and hundreds of thousands facing starvation. We're talking about violence in many places, particularly in Oromia and Benishangul Gumuz, and also in Tigray. And people are saying it's because of the international inaction and because of the prevailing impunity that is allowing for such atrocities to happen again and again.
Well, yes, you're right. I have heard from an academician saying that more people have died in Tigray and Ethiopia than even in Ukraine. And unfortunately, I would say the international community has not been paying as much attention as it should to Tigray or to Oroma and Afar region as well. And I'm really alarmed because after some period of time that we thought that was like peace talks, and that these issues we will come into a peace agreement and sort of a transition, a political transition that could resolve the political issue, because of course now we have dealing with military strategies, but I don't think the solution is a military solution. And unfortunately, we have seen resumption of hostilities in northern Tigray the last days, and civilians have suffered so much, and this will only exacerbate the suffering of Ethiopians already in desperate need. And as you remember, I think it's a real big number. I don't know if it's 22 million people, if I'm not wrong, who are suffering from food insecurity and the risk of famine. Mm-hmm. So really, we have implored the Ethiopia and the Tigray People's Liberation Front to work to de-escalate the situation and immediately cease hostility. But you're right. I feel that the international community stopped paying attention, and this has not been helpful. I think the international community should give more attention to the Ethiopia situation to help change the situation and stop the violence from happening.